As an English and Humanities professor, Helen Graham leads students in discovering African American history and culture through literature. But this academic year, her devotion to the subject reaches beyond the classroom to an extensive project on behalf of the Freedmen's Bureau.
The Freedmen's Bureau was created by an act of Congress towards the end of the American Civil War. From 1862 to 1872, the Bureau provided services for refugees, for freedmen, and for those whose lands were abandoned. So in the process, it collected names, family relationships, and information on nearly 4 million slaves, in addition to former plantation owners, white citizens who became refugees after the Civil War. So they have all of that information, but it's been sitting in the National Archives, these records, since 1872. So in order to get access to the records, you had to go to the National Archives. Some records they provide online. Back in 2001, we volunteers indexed 460,000 records that's a part of this project, and these were the bank records. And so those records are already available online. So right now we are indexing or extracting information from the remaining 1.5 million records, which comprises the names of over 4 million slaves. So we need a lot of help in getting this information out there. This project was launched last June, and we hope to finish by June of this year, 2016. We have a short deadline now to get all of this work done because the Smithsonian has purchased the last available space on the Washington Mall. So the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture will have its grand opening in September of this year. So it's important that we have all of these records indexed because the records will be on permanent display in the museum. Also in the museum there will be kiosks set up where people can actually go online and search these records and possibly locate some of their ancestors. Before 1870, many blacks, and I say blacks because they didn't have citizenship at the time, were documented as property. So many of their names were not out there prior to 1870. Some were, but not many. In 1870, that's the first census where African Americans as a whole were listed as individuals. So doing slave ancestral research prior to 1870, individuals will have to look at wills, probate, land records, and look for property. Now, if they know the name of the plantation owner or the slave owner, that's pivotal in them finding their ancestors. And some records actually have the former slaves, the plantation that they were listed on, and the slave owner's name. So that will help when individuals are doing slave ancestral research.
You don't need academic expertise to help in the effort. You just need the desire and a way to access the internet.
They will download a software which is free, which is an indexing tool. And they will take a look at images of all of these records. And in each field, they will be asked to type in the individual's name, their first name, their last name, their race. It's either colored or white, and many times it's noted on the document. Their ages, information about the city, the town, the parish that the events took place in. If they go to discoverfreedmen.org, and that's Freedmen with an E, .org, a lot of information is listed there, or they can contact me directly. We have indexing training events throughout the city of Houston, so they can contact me as well to get more information on that.
For HCC Beat, I'm Stacee Hawkins.